welcome to another episode of Tiny Nest. I'm Kiva.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Kirsten, and this is Wild Rose Tiny House.
We already visited Kirsten's build back when it was in the framing stages, and you can see that video here. So obviously a lot has changed since we were here before. Do you want to walk us through some of the progress you made?
Yeah. So when you guys were here, it was just wall framing, no roof, no sheathing, and it was underneath the carport here. So somebody else moved it for me, and I wasn't even here when that happened, which I'm glad because I didn't want to. It was so stressful to think about moving it, but it was fine. So we put the sheathing on, which is just 7/16 OSB. The roof, of course, the roof joists and the metal roof and the sheathing and all that stuff. Exterior, the tieback house wrap. That was all before I went to Alaska, and then I was gone last summer, and so we just put the windows in on Monday, and I just was watching them today. And then my dad, I bought this door from another tiny house build. They renovated it and they got a new door, so I got this door, which is great. But we had to build a jamb from scratch, and so my dad did that just a couple days ago. And it's not perfect yet, as you can see, but it's getting there. And then I built this utility box on the tongue, mostly based on your guys' video about how to do it. Mine's taller, obviously. And this was sort of the first thing that I did really by myself. I've done a lot of it. I've been here for all of it, but I had my dad teaching me and the captain of the boat that I worked on and my stepdad and various family members around kind of guiding a lot of it. And then this was the first thing, nobody was here, nobody held wood for me. It was just by myself, and it's really not that big of a deal, but I'm pretty proud of it.
And so what have you done on the inside?
Let's see, I got these are just 2x6, the leftovers from the wall framing, and I stained those and put them up, obviously, and then this is just 3/4 inch hardwood plywood, I think it's oak, and I stained that and put that up. It's not actually attached yet, but they're up there. And then there's another loft back there that I did. And what else did we do on the inside? We did the strapping that you guys did around the house with the metal. It's 20 gauge or 16 gauge metal that I wrapped it around anywhere that I could without a window. What else have I done in here? Seems like not very much, but a lot has gotten done.
What about
the windows, of course? Oh, and then today, this just happened 2 hours ago. My brother is an electrician, thank God. So he came over and we just roughed in the electrical just 2 hours ago. And then I spent the last couple weeks really doing a lot of research and shopping. So I got my hot water heater, and there's going to be a vent fan right here. And I spent a lot of time buying stuff and ordering stuff and figuring out where to get it and what I wanted and all that. So that was really a lot of what's gotten done the past few weeks.
Are there any major challenges you've had to work through in this build?
Yes. Mostly, of course, is inexperience. And it's hard to just work when I have to stop every single step and either ask somebody or look on Google or look at your guys' website, videos or something. It's been really frustrating, but it is what it is. And then I bought all my windows, salvaged. They were all from salvage yards, but some of them were new and some of them had been pulled out of other buildings. And it was the first thing I did, because then I designed the house around them. But I didn't know anything about windows at the time. So half of them don't have nailing fans on the outside. It ended up not being difficult at all. What we ended up doing was just drilling screws through the side into the framing, which was not a big deal. But I didn't know how to do that, and I was for some reason it created this massive amount of anxiety in my brain. So that was a big deal. And then I don't like the color white. So 3 of the windows, the 2 in the lofts and the 1 in the bathroom back there, I painted purple.
Okay.
And I practiced on a window that I bought that had a broken seal that I didn't realize that I couldn't use. So I painted it, and it turned out it looked good, but I didn't, I should have done it a month ago and seen how it cured and how they opened and shut once it had been a while and all that stuff, and I didn't. So all 3 of those windows, you have to rip them open, and it tears the paint every time, and you have to use a putty knife to get them open, and it's really hard. And so I would never do that ever again. So do not paint vinyl windows, please. When I was researching it, there was not very much information about how to do it, which I now realize when you go to research anything else about building, there's millions of websites about how do you whatever, put in insulation, like rough in electrical. And nobody's talking on the internet about how to do vinyl windows because you don't do it. So that was my biggest thing, and it sucked a lot. Eventually I'm gonna like tear the windows out and put in wooden windows like down the road somewhere.
What about the fender?
Oh yeah. So this was my first experience with building something that's gonna be seen. Besides the loft joists, of course, but those were easy. You don't have to do anything to them, just stain them. So first of all, I wouldn't use hardwood plywood because you can see the edges here, like you can see the inside of the plywood, and it just doesn't look very good. Maybe I'll put trim over it, but I don't know yet. And I didn't know how to use the circular saw very well, and I've since learned that you can like set up some kind of other piece of wood to help you cut straight. I didn't have that, so they're all like wavy, and it actually doesn't, like now that I'm looking at them, it doesn't look that bad, but it was a 3-day ordeal for me to get these stupid things built. And I'm pretty proud of them that they even exist, considering, but it wasn't fun. So yeah, it's just hard, I'm learning everything through my own house that I'm paying for, supplies. So there's a lot of like wasted money just from like not knowing how to do things, and that's frustrating, but I know that in the end it'll be worth it.
So what is this?
This is going to be part of my composting toilet. A lot of people buy the Nature's Head, which is great, and I have a good friend who has an Airstream, and she has a Nature's Head composting toilet, and it's amazing, but it's like $1,000 and way over my budget for right now. So I found this thing on ecovita.net. I think they're the same people they sell the Nature's Head. I don't know if they're the same people that make it, but it's just like a plastic, it's like a pee funnel. It's a urine separator, and there's like different schools. Like some people think you should mix everything together, and some people think you should separate, and I like separate. So it's just gonna sit, like, I'll have a bucket in here. I'm gonna make a box around it, and there'll be a bucket here, and then like a little container in the front, and this isn't gonna be so long. I think they do this so that you can actually run it like out of the house, but I'm just gonna have like something right below it. And then I'm gonna build a box where you can open the front and just take the urine container out, because of course that gets emptied more often, and then the bucket stays in the back. So I'm excited about this, and it's like $100.
Nice.
Probably could have like come up with a funnel, but I got enough to do.
Exactly.
This is $100, sure. Give it, send it to me. Yeah, and it comes with like a little styrofoam seat. It's up there, but like just a styrofoam seat cover, and then a little like top, and I'm gonna just get like a real toilet seat for it. Yeah.
Do you want to also tell us about your installation?
Yeah, I got Oregon Shepherd wool insulation. It's just like loose fill wool, and from what I understand, you actually have to like fluff it out because it's not supposed to be so compacted in the walls.
Okay.
And I did that. The wheel wells are completely insulated, and then this part of the wall was like connected to the wheel well, so it's got insulation in there too. And it's nice because it doesn't have any like weird chemicals in it. You can touch it. You don't have to wear, goggles and a full spacesuit to put it in, and it smells like sheep, which is just like comforting. From my grandma had a sheep farm when I was a kid. Yeah, so I love this stuff, and it's like $100 a box. And so I got 5 boxes to do just my walls. I'm not going to do the ceiling.
Okay.
So it's affordable. The couple days after I got home, I went and looked at their website after I put it on my blog, and their website was down, and it has been for weeks. So I don't know if something happened to the company or. I need to go look at it again. But they're awesome, and a lot of tiny house people have used this stuff. So this window, I got, it was in the window of an antique store here in town for like $50, but it had a cracked pane. So I went and got it replaced, and it was a lot more than $50 to get it fixed, but it is. And it had this like sort of yellow-green paint when I bought it, which I didn't hate, but I didn't really like. So I tried painting over it with this purple paint that I used for the windows. Which is latex paint, and I don't know if I did something wrong or I don't know, but it just peeled right off. So then I didn't know what to do, so I thought to strip it down, and it got this pretty wood underneath. So yeah, I'm really excited that that worked out, and it's not stained. I'm gonna put some more stain on it to make it a little darker, but I think it looks better with the wood.
Looks great.
And this is gonna go in the wall right here, which I don't know, it's like becoming extremely complicated to put it in the wall, because now we're like going to put another sheet of glass in front of it, and we have to stop it on both sides, and there's a sill that has to go in it, and it's that is not even my department. Like my stepdad is doing that, because every time they start talking about it, I'm just like, okay, whatever you say. Yeah, So I trust that it will be in the wall eventually and it will look pretty.
Excellent.
That's good.
Wasn't this also supposed to be a stained glass window?
It was, and when I took it in to get fixed, because it had a cracked pane, they quoted me like $600 or something to get it fixed, which is way too much. So I went down to the salvage yard in Seattle and found this one, which was quite a bit narrower than the stained glass, but it was the same height. Okay, so the other thing I did, of course, is put in this skylight, which is awesome. It opens all the way out, so you can get out if there's a fire or get some air in here. And it was pretty scary to do because it was the first window I put in, and I was terrified that I was going to screw up the flashing. But it hasn't leaked. It's been in there for 3 months. So yeah, skylight's awesome.
Thanks a lot for letting us come by and check out your build.
Of course, anytime. Thanks for stopping by.
If you want to see some of our previous videos, click on the preview tiles. And subscribe if you want to follow our progress. You can also visit our website here.
People keep asking me if I watch the tiny house shows. I'm like, absolutely not, because all it does is make me think about all the things I didn't do.
Oh, I know.